The signal from the stars. In the deep dark of space, where stars shine like tiny lights, something strange happened. A signal, soft, broken, and full of fear, was heard by a human satellite floating near the edge of known space. The signal came again and again. "Please, help us. Someone. Please, help." It was weak. It was not in any known human language, but the pain in the voice was clear. Whoever it was, they were scared, and they were calling out to the stars. They were calling out to anyone who could hear. Earth Command got the message first. At first, they thought it was a mistake. Maybe a glitch, maybe a broken machine. But then the signal repeated, same voice, same cry. Experts listened carefully. Language AI tried to break the message. It was not human. Not any known alien race. It was something new. A species no one had ever seen. Some scientists said it was a trap. Don't answer, they warned. It could be pirates. Or worse. But others said, if we don't answer, maybe they'll die. Captain Raina Hollow, a brave woman known for her calm mind, stood in the meeting room and spoke. "We always said humans are different," she said. "We help. We protect. We don't ignore a cry for help, even in the dark." Many agreed, so Earth Command gave the green light. A special ship was chosen. Its name was Sturridge. It was small, fast, and filled with the best people. Captain Raina would lead the mission. Her team had 6 people. Dr. Milo, the language expert, who could learn new tongues in hours. Juno, the pilot, quiet but sharp as a laser. Liam, the weapons tech, a joker but deadly in a fight. Kai, the engineer who could fix anything with just a wire and a wish. Tessa, the medical officer, calm like a deep river. And Captain Raina, the heart of them all. They packed fast. The signal was coming from far, far away, near a dark zone called the Black Curve. No one had gone that deep into space before. It was a place where stars were few and light was weak. The crew said goodbye to their families. Some were excited. Some were scared. But all of them knew this was not just a mission. It was history. The Sturridge left Earth 3 days later. It flew fast, using the latest warp drive. The ship hummed like a song as it jumped through space. At first, everything felt normal. The crew laughed, ate meals, played games. But then, things started to change. The signal they'd followed became louder, clearer, but also wrong. Sometimes the voice changed. Sometimes it sounded like a child crying. Sometimes like an old man whispering. But always the same words. "Help us, please. We are not alone." Dr. Milo looked pale. "The message is shifting," he said. "It's almost like it knows we're listening." Captain Raina frowned. "What do you mean?" "I mean, it's learning. It's changing to match us." That night, Tessa had a dream. She saw eyes in the dark, watching, blinking. She woke up sweating. Kai said the lights in the engine room blinked for no reason. Juno said she saw a shadow outside the ship, but space was empty. Liam joked, maybe ghosts are real. But his smile was thin. They kept going. After 4 days, the stars began to disappear. Not all at once, but slowly, like someone was turning off lights in the sky. The crew stood at the window and stared. "There's nothing out there," Kai whispered. Captain Raina looked ahead. Her voice was firm. "There's something. A voice. A life. And we're going to find it." Just then, a second message came through. But this one was different. It said, "Turn back. They heard you." No voice this time. Just flat words in perfect English. Everyone froze. "Who sent that?" Juno asked. Milo checked the system. It came from the same place. The same signal line. "Is it still the same voice?" Raina asked. Milo didn't answer right away. Finally, he said, "I don't think there's only one voice anymore." Silence filled the ship. Captain Reyna gave the order. Full speed. We keep going. Because humans never ignore a cry for help. But in the darkness of space, not every cry leads to rescue. Some lead to death. Journey into darkness. Hook. As the human ship moves closer to the signal, strange things begin to happen on board. The Starreach moved through deep space, following the signal. But now the space around them felt different. Colder, quieter. Even the stars behind them looked smaller, like they were moving away or being swallowed by the dark. Each day, the crew felt something strange. Dr. Milo stopped talking so much. He kept listening to the signal over and over, even when others told him to rest. Tessa, the medic, noticed everyone's sleep was getting worse. "We're all dreaming too much," she said. "The same dreams." "What dreams?" Captain Reyna asked. "Dark places, long halls, and something waiting at the end." Reyna didn't like it. She had the dreams too. The signal was still coming. But now, there were changes. Sometimes the voice spoke names. Real names. "Juno, help me. Milo, don't leave me. Reyna, it's cold here." Captain Reyna's hands became tight fists. "How does it know our names?" Nobody answered. Juno, the pilot, checked the ship's location. "We're entering the Black Curve," she said. The Black Curve was an empty zone of space where almost no stars existed. It was like a scar across the sky. Ships avoided it. Maps warned to stay away. But the signal was coming from deep inside it. As they entered, the ship lights flickered. Just once. Then again. Like someone was blinking the ship. Kai, the engineer, ran checks. "Systems are fine," he said. "No reason for the lights to blink." Liam laughed nervously. "Maybe the lights are scared too." But nobody smiled. Later that night, something strange happened. Milo disappeared. For 3 minutes, he was gone. Not in his room. Not on any camera. Then he came back, standing in the hallway, confused. "I was just in the lab," he said. "No," said Tessa. "You were gone. We checked everywhere." Milo looked scared. I heard a voice. It told me to follow it, but I don't remember where I went." Captain Reyna didn't waste time. She ordered a full security check, but there was nothing. No sign of a break-in. No damage. Just fear. A new message came through the ship's main screen. This one was clear. No broken words. Just one line. "You should know to be here." The screen flickered again. Then another line appeared. "Turn back or stay for forever." Reyna looked at her crew. "Is this still a rescue mission?" Liam asked, his voice low. Reyna spoke firmly. "Yes, we don't know who is sending these warnings, but we do know one thing. Someone called for help, and we are here to answer." Nobody argued. Humans were afraid, but they were also brave. They went deeper. As the ship flew forward, the space around them became blacker. No stars, no planets, just nothing. Juno checked the map. "The stars behind us, they're vanishing." Kai stared at the screen. "They're not vanishing. They're being turned off." Liam stepped back. "You mean something is covering them?" Nobody answered. Dr. Milo spoke quietly. "We're not alone out here. Something is watching us." That night, the whole crew had the same dream. They saw a planet floating in black space. The planet was dark, broken, and full of silence. In the dream, they heard a voice whisper, "It waits below." They all woke up at the same time, cold, sweating, and shaking. Reyna looked out the window of the ship. Far ahead, in the deep darkness, something new appeared. It was small at first, a faint blue light. But as they moved closer, they saw it. A giant space station, floating above a dead planet. It was broken. Pieces were missing. Lights were off. It looked abandoned for years. But the signal, it was coming from there. Milo checked the system. "This is it," he said. "That's the source of the cry for help." The ship slowed down. They prepared to dock. Reyna spoke to her crew. "We stay together. We check the station. We find out what happened here." Liam held his weapon close. "And if something's still in there?" Reyna's voice was calm. "Then we find it. We help. Or we fight. But we don't run." Outside the window, the station grew bigger. No lights. No movement. But deep inside it, someone, or something, was waiting. The planet of whispers. Hook. The rescue team finds the source of the signal, but the planet is not what they expected. The human ship Sturridge floated near the silent station. It was huge, old, and broken in many places. Some parts were floating away slowly in space. There were no lights, no movement, no sound. But the signal was still coming from inside. Captain Reyna and her team wore their suits. The air outside might not be safe. Juno stayed on the ship to watch the controls. The rest of the crew got ready to enter the station. As the docking door opened, silence rushed in. No welcome, no guards, no answers. They stepped into a long hallway. Lights on their helmets showed metal walls covered in dust. Some parts were burnt. Wires hung from the ceiling like black vines. Dr. Milo whispered, "It's been a long time since anyone walked here." Tessa nodded, "But the signal is still running. That means power is working. Somewhere." Reyna's voice was calm. "Let's move. Slowly. Watch everything." They walked deeper into the station. Every step echoed like a knock on an empty box. Then they heard something. A whisper. Faint. Quick. Gone. Liam turned fast. "Did someone just say something?" "No," said Milo. "But I heard it too." More whispers. Soft. All around them. Coming from the walls. The floors. Reyna pointed to a broken door. In there. They stepped into what looked like a command center. Screens were cracked. Chairs were floating. A few still had bones in them, not human bones. "They're tall," Tessa said. "Thin arms. Long fingers." "Aliens?" Milo said. "This must be the Velari." One screen was still blinking. Old and dusty, but alive. Milo touched it carefully. A log file appeared. It showed a list of messages. The last one was read. It said, "Do note ANCVR the KL. It is not a rescue." Reyna frowned. They tried to warn others. Milo opened the last recording. A Velari appeared on the screen. His eyes were wide with fear. "If you are seeing this," he said, "then the station still stands, and that means the creature is still alive." The Velari shook his head. His voice was shaking. "We came to explore the planet below. We found something buried inside it. It was sleeping. We woke it." The screen glitched. "Don't come here," the Velari said. "It feeds on minds, on fear. It can become anything you fear. It is the darkness that watches. We thought it needed help. We were wrong." The message ended. Silence again. Liam stepped back. "So, the signal is a trap." Milo nodded. "Maybe. Or maybe it started as real. But now, it's not the same." Just then, the whispers came again. But this time, they were clear. They said the crew's names. Tessa, Milo, Liam, Reyna. Reyna turned fast. Her eyes were hard. "Keep moving." They followed a trail of broken lights to the core room. Inside, they found something strange. A cryo chamber. It was still working. Inside it, a Velari was sleeping. Alive. His eyes opened slowly. He looked weak. Pale. Terrified. Reyna stepped closer. "Who are you?" "I am." "Tell us," the Velari said slowly. "Are you real? Are you human?" "Yes," Reyna said. "We followed your signal. We came to help. Tellus's eyes filled with tears. No, he said. You should not have come. It's still here. It watches me even now. What is it? Milo asked. A shadow. A mind-eater. It has no body. But it can wear yours. It used our signal to bring more life to feed on. Reyna asked, can it reach us? Even now? Tellus looked up. It already has. Didn't you feel it? In your dreams? In your thoughts? Liam backed away. He's right. I felt something in my head, like it was reading my fear. The lights flickered. Then the walls groaned. Tessa checked her scanner. Captain, the ship just lost outside power. Juno's voice came through the comm, full of panic. Captain, something just touched the ship. I can't see it, but the systems are going down. The comm cut off. Reyna stared at the others. It's here, Tellus whispered. It heard your thoughts. It found your fears. And now it wants you. The team was trapped. And the real horror was just beginning. The last Villari. Look. The last survivor warns them of a hidden danger, but now it's too late to turn back. The crew of Sterich stood inside the broken alien station. The Villari survivor, Tellus, was weak and shaking inside the cryo chamber, but his voice was clear. It's already inside. Captain Reyna looked at him. What do you mean? Tellus turned his eyes to her. The creature, the shadow, it has no true form. It hides in minds. It waits until you fear it. Then, it becomes what you fear most. Liam whispered, that's why we've been hearing voices, dreaming the same dreams. It wants fear, Tellus said. That's its food. It used our signal as bait. We tried to stop it, but it was smarter. Suddenly, the lights in the chamber turned red. Emergency power. The station groaned again, and the floor shook slightly. Tessa checked her scanner. The station's orbit is falling. Slowly, but we don't have much time. Reyna opened the comm channel. Juno, come in. Can you hear me? No reply. Sterich, respond. Still nothing. Then a voice came, but it wasn't Juno. It sounded like her, but broken. Off. Captain, help. Me. The voice cried like a child. Captain, it's in here, with me. Milo looked at Reyna. That's not her. That's it pretending. Tellus shook his head. Once it touches your mind, it can use your voice. Reyna gave the order. We need to get back to the ship. Now. But the path out had changed. The hallway was no longer straight. It twisted, like a maze. This wasn't like this before, Kai said. It's changing the station, Tessa said. Or changing what we see. Milo looked pale. It's inside our heads. Liam held up his weapon. Then we fight it. No, Tellus said quickly. You can't shoot a shadow. You can't kill fear with bullets. Reyna's voice stayed calm. Then we use our minds. Stay together. No panic. No fear. They moved through the hallway. Red lights flashed. Whispers followed them like wind in the dark. At one corner, they heard a scream. It was Juno's voice again. It's killing me. Liam ran toward the sound. Juno, hold on. Stop, Reyna shouted. But it was too late. Liam turned a corner and came face to face with Juno. She stood there, bloody and crying. But her eyes were completely black. Help me, she whispered. Liam raised his weapon. Juno. She smiled. A wide, broken smile. Then her face began to melt. Liam screamed. The others pulled him back. That's not her. Tessa yelled. It's the creature. The fake Juno laughed. A horrible, echoing laugh. Then it faded into smoke and was gone. Liam fell to his knees, shaking. It knew what I feared. It knew I'd try to save her. Tellus stepped beside him. It shows what hurts you most. That's how it wins. Reyna looked around. No more talking. We keep moving. Block the fear. Don't let it grow. They'd reached the docking bay. But the ship was no longer there. Or, it looked like it wasn't. Where the steerage had been, there was only black space. Milo stared. Is it gone? Or is it hiding it from us? Kai touched his scanner. The ship is still here. My tools say it's right in front of us. Reyna reached out. Her hand hit metal. It's using illusion, she said. Trying to trap us here. They opened the door by touch. Inside, the ship lights flickered, but systems came online again. Then, finally, a real voice came through. Juno, I'm here. I've locked myself in the control room. Something tried to trick me. I almost let it in. Reyna sighed in relief. We're coming. Hold tight. They entered the ship. Doors closed behind them. But Tellus didn't come in. Reyna turned. Come on. Tellus shook his head. I can't leave. If I go with you, it will follow. I'm the key now. It's tied to me. There has to be another way, Tessa said. No, Tellus said softly. I'll stay. You take my warning back to your world. Tell them never to answer signals from this place again. Reyna paused. Her heart felt heavy. Finally, she gave a small nod. Thank you, she said. Tellus smiled one last time. Then the door closed. The steerage pulled away. As they flew from the station, the crew looked back. The darkness behind them twisted and turned like it was alive. But it didn't follow. Tellus had kept his promise. For now, the creature was trapped. But Reyna knew the truth. This wasn't over. Not forever. The enemy below. Hook. The crew thought they escaped danger, until they realized the real enemy was already on board. The steerage soared away from the broken station. Captain Reyna hollow breathed a sigh of relief. The ship's engines hummed smoothly. Outside, the stars returned, bright and calm. But inside, something felt wrong. The lights flickered again, not like before, this time in the pattern of a heartbeat. Thump, thump, thump. Dr. Milo frowned at his console. Systems are fine, he said, but the power draw is rising. Juno's voice came over the comm. I'm seeing movement on the lower decks, but there's no crew member there. Reyna's skin prickled. Check again. Juno hesitated. It's gone. A chill fell through the corridor. Tessa wrapped her arms around herself. I feel something watching me. Then the voice came. Low, soft, right inside their minds. They never left, it whispered. They are here. Liam dropped his toolkit. Did you hear that? His voice shook. It's inside the ship. Milo shook his head. That's not possible. But the evidence was clear. Sensors showed no other life forms on board. Yet something moved. Something breathed in the vents. Something whispered in the dark. Tessa pressed her hand to her helmet. My heart. It's racing. Reyna took a deep breath. We must stay calm. We stick together. They gathered in the main hall. The walls glowed with soft white light, but the light had no warmth. Suddenly, the ship lurched. The floor tilted. Objects slid across the deck. Juno shouted, We've lost control. The autopilot is gone. Milo raced to the helm. It's not a system error. Someone, or something, has taken over. A red emergency light blinked above them. The words Course to Planete flashed on the screen. Reyna stared. That's not our course. Milo's eyes widened. The ship is turning toward the planet below the station. He looked at her. It's dragging us back. No, Reyna said. We're leaving. Full power to engines. She pressed the controls. Nothing happened. Kay's voice came over comm. Captain, the engines are offline. Only life support works. A heavy silence fell. They were powerless, at the mercy of something they could not see. The voice came again, louder this time. Go down, it hissed. Feed me. Reyna felt bile rise in her throat. It's guiding us back. It wants us on the planet. Why? Liam asked, voice trembling. Tellus's warning echoed in her mind. It feeds on fear. It will trap you there. Tessa closed her eyes. I don't want to go back. I can't face it again. Reyna's face set hard. We have no choice. If we stay here, it will come for us one by one. We must end it. Milo swallowed hard. It knows our fear. We saw that on the station. It becomes our worst nightmares. Juno's voice was steady now. We can face nightmares. We're human. We don't give up. Reyna nodded. Prepare for descent. We land on the planet. We end this. They suited up again. Weapons, scanners, and EMP grenades were sealed in their packs. Each took one last breath of the recycled air. The ship shuddered as it entered the planet's thin atmosphere. Below them lay a dark world, half in shadow. The broken station hovered above, silent and watchful. All teams, prepare for landing, Reyna ordered. The shuttle bay door opened. The wind of re-entry roared in. Heat flares danced on the viewports. They climbed into the drop pods. Each felt the pull of gravity for the first time in days. Their hearts pounded. The unknown waited below. Remember, Reyna said over the intercom, no fear. We stand together. We fight together. We win together. The pods released. One by one, they fell through the dark sky. Inside, the walls rattled. Then silence, dead silence, before impact. They landed near the station's shadow, on cold, hard soil. The air smelled of dust and metal. A distant thunder rolled as the planet trembled. Reyna stepped out. The ground cracked under her boots. She looked up at the station, black and broken. We face our enemy now, she said, voice clear. A whisper answered, feed me. Liam raised his rifle. Not today. They moved forward, weapons ready. The darkness ahead seemed alive. The planet itself felt hungry. But the crew stayed close. No panic, no fear. For the first time, they were the hunters. And below the station, the real battle would begin. Humanity strikes back. Look, when all hope seemed lost, the crew discovered their greatest weapon, each other. Deep beneath the broken station, the air was thick with dust and fear. Captain Reyna Hollow led her team down a narrow metal stairwell. Sparks from broken wires lit their path in flickering orange. Each step echoed in the empty darkness. They carried heavy packs. Inside were EMP grenades, flamethrowers, and special pulse rifles. Dr. Milo held a small device given by Tellus, the last Villari survivor. It was a map of the creature's lair, drawn in trembling alien ink. Tessa, the medic, checked her supplies for the third time. We don't know what we will face, she said softly. But we must try. Reyna glanced back. We are not alone. We have each other. She put a hand on Tessa's shoulder. Stay close. Stay calm. They moved forward. The walls around them pulsed with a faint blue light. It was the creature's power, feeding on the metal and the station's broken circuits. Every pulse sent a shiver through the crew. Suddenly, a deep growl rolled through the corridor. It sounded like metal tearing. Juno raised her rifle. It's here. Out of the darkness, a shape appeared. It was tall, taller than any person or machine. Its body was a shifting shadow. Eyes like burning coals stared at them. The creature stretched a long arm, dripping black fluid. Liam fired first. His pulse rifle sent a bright beam into the monster's side. The shadow hissed and recoiled. Sparks flew where the beam hit its skin, but the creature hardly flinched. Reyna shouted, "Use the EMP grenades." Kai ripped the pin from a grenade and threw it at the creature's feet. A blue ring of energy exploded. The monster's body flickered. For a moment, it froze in place. Milo turned on the flamethrower. "Now fire," he cried. Tessa aimed and released a jet of fire. The beast screamed, a sound like crushing steel and burning silk. The flames ate into its form, forcing it back into the shadows. The creature vanished down a side tunnel. The ground shook. A distant rumble warned them that the station was collapsing. "It's hurt," Kai panted, "but it's not dead." Tellus's voice came through their comm links. He spoke in slow Velari, but Milo's translator made it clear. "The heart core lies ahead. You must destroy it. The creature will fall." They followed Tellus's map. Twisting tunnels led deeper into the planet's crust. The air grew hotter. Steam hissed from broken pipes. The walls dripped with dark liquid that sounded like whispers when it hit the floor. At last, they reached a cavernous chamber. In the center floated a glowing orb, bright purple light pulsing like a heartbeat. The orb hung above a pool of dark fluid. Tendrils of shadow reached out from the pool, wrapping around the orb like roots. "That is the heart core," Milo said, eyes wide. Reyna raised her rifle again. "We split into 2 teams. Team 1 plants EMP charges on the orb. Team 2 keeps the creature away." She looked at each member in turn. Team 1. Milo and Kai would climb onto the metal walkways and attach the charges. Team 2. Reyna, Juno, Liam, and Tessa would form a protective circle. They worked quickly. Milo and Kai crawled along the walkways, the orb's pulse echoing in their chests. They knelt beside the glowing sphere and secured the EMP modules. Down below, the creature rose from the pool. Its shadow body stretched wide. It let out a deafening roar that shook the chamber walls. Pipes burst, spraying scalding steam. Reyna shouted, "Now!" Liam pulled the trigger on his remote detonator. The EMP devices activated with bright arcs of electricity. The orb flared brilliantly. Blue lightning crackled across the chamber. The creature hurled itself toward the walkways. Juno and Tessa opened fire with their rifles. Each shot made the shadows scream and recoil. The stalwart humans held their ground, their weapons burning bright against the living darkness. Meanwhile, Milo and Kai climbed down as the EMP pulse built to its peak. The orb's light dimmed. The creature's roars turned to grinding echoes. Then, with a final crackle, the orb shattered into fragments of glass and light. A shockwave tore through the chamber. The black fluid boiled away. Tendrils of shadow evaporated into thin air. The creature let out one last ear-splitting scream. Then it collapsed into a formless mist and vanished. Silence settled. The floor trembled violently. Chunks of metal fell from the ceiling. The station's foundations began to give way. Tessa rushed to the injured. Liam was coughing smoke. Kai had a deep cut on his arm. Milo looked stunned but unhurt. Reyna checked them quickly. "We need to go. Now." They sprinted back through the tunnels, following the path they came. The walls buckled. Lights flickered once, then went out. At the docking bay, they found the Sturridge awaiting them. Juno hit the controls. The doors opened just enough for them to slip inside as the roof collapsed behind them. Inside the ship, they sealed the bay doors. Engines roared to life. The ship rose from the planet's surface just as the station imploded in a cloud of debris. In the cockpit, Reyna looked at her crew. Faces were smudged with soot. Some were limp with exhaustion, but their eyes shone with relief and triumph. "We did it," Kai whispered. Reyna nodded. "Humanity fights back, and we win." Outside the viewport, the darkness where the station once stood was empty. No sign of the creature remained. Only stars returned to the sky. The crew knew the battle was over, for now. But they also knew humanity's courage and unity had saved them all. We heard the cry. We answered. Hook. They thought the worst was over, but the true test of their courage lay ahead, back on Earth. The Sturridge glided away from the ruined station and the dark planet. Inside, the crew felt a deep, quiet calm. The roar of battle had ended. Only the soft hum of the ship's engines remained. For the first time in days, they could rest without fear. Captain Reyna Hollow stood in the corridor, looking at her team. Their faces were tired and bruised, but their eyes shone with relief. She let out a slow breath and smiled. "We did it," she said. "We really did it." Dr. Milo, still carrying a bandaged arm, nodded. "We stopped it. We saved ourselves." He touched the scanner Tellus had given them. "And we saved others too." Juno checked the navigation console. "We are on course for Earth. Estimated arrival 3 days." She looked up. "I can't wait to see home again." Tessa, the medical officer, opened the cryo chamber where Tellus slept. His pale form lay silent beneath the glass. "He earned his rest," she whispered. "He saved us all." Kai, the engineer, joined them. "I'll keep the ship running. We'll need him awake soon." "We all do." He patted the cryo chamber gently. Inside the command deck, Reyna entered a short report into the ship's log. She wrote about sacrifice, hope, and fear overcome. She ended with a simple line. "We heard the cry. We answered." 2 days later, the crew gathered around as Tessa deactivated Tellus's cryopod. The Velari stirred, blinking at the bright lights. His eyes, once filled with terror, now held quiet wonder. "Where am I?" he asked softly. "You are safe," Reyna said, kneeling beside him. "You are on your way home. Our home." Tellus sat up slowly. He looked at each crew member. "I thought I was lost forever," he said in his soft voice. "But you came. You fought. You listened." Milo offered a gentle smile. "We always help those in need. It is what we do." Tellus closed his eyes for a moment. "Then thank you, all of you." Reyna stood and addressed the crew. "Prepare for re-entry. Earth awaits us, and they must hear your story." As the Sterich entered Earth's atmosphere, the crew watched through the viewports. Blue oceans and white clouds replaced the blackness of space. Lights from cities blinked like fallen stars. Their hearts warmed. In the control center on Earth, screens showed the ship's approach. Families, friends, and world leaders stood at Docking Bay Alpha 2. They held banners. "Welcome home," and "Thank you, heroes." When the Sterich touched down, its engines glowed in the night. The bay doors opened with a hiss. Captain Reyna led her team down the ramp. Reporters and photographers pressed close, shouting questions. Reyna raised her hand for silence. "We came because someone called for help," she said. "We fought because fear does not win if we stand together. We return to remind you. No cry goes unheard." The crowd cheered. Tessa cradled Tellus as he walked beside her. People gasped and reached out. For the first time, many saw a real Velari. Tellus paused, looked at the Earth sky, and smiled with hope. Later, in a grand hall, world leaders listened as Tellus spoke through Milo's translator. His voice was gentle. "My people called you. We meant no harm. We only wished to learn. But we awoke something terrible." He paused. "You saved me, and you stopped the darkness. But I ask you now, build a warning in the sky. Let no one ever answer a call from that place again. It is death." A treaty was signed that very night. Nations agreed to build the beacon of vigilance near the star system's edge. It would burn bright in space, a warning light. Danger here. Leave this world alone. As the beacon's signal pulsed across the galaxy, Reyna and her crew looked on from the Sterich observation deck. Tellus stood between them, his hand on a viewport. He whispered, "I will never forget what you did." Reyna placed a hand on his shoulder. "Nor will we forget you. You are family now." Below them, Earth's lights sparkled. Above, the beacon shone steady. Between them lay the unknown. But for now, humanity had answered a cry for help and proven its greatest strength, compassion. And in the quiet that followed, every star in the sky felt just a little closer and a little safer.